Alright, and I should be live, and I don't know what has happened with my life recently, but I think this is the third time in a row that I'm going live, and I'm actually a few minutes ahead of when I meant to be live. I'm so used to things going so incredibly wrong that I end up a half hour later than I want to be. So, I don't know what's going on. One moment, as I say about things going wrong, YouTube, of course, has to start giving me issues, which I suppose I shouldn't be that surprised by. This morning, YouTube was having, like, its own meltdown moment. I don't know if anybody else suffered that issue. YouTube was completely down for a little bit, and then afterwards it seemed that a number of people had trouble accessing their subscription feed or their homepage or whatever it is, their main feed. So YouTube has been struggling all day, so let's see if it continues while I go live. Hey Richard, welcome to the stream. How are things going? And as we are inching closer and closer to the promised day, hopefully your holidays have been going well thus far.
What is it?
Anyways, I've got this monster tournament inside the monster land where I fight with monsters against monsters. So I don't know how to interpret this this area, but it's a thing, and frankly I want more Dragon Quest monsters, so that's what I chose to open up the several day stream, hopefully, fingers crossed, with today. Rigid, Dem, both of you, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. Dem, I have been seeing pictures about a couple of nights out. And you look to be having a hell of a lot of fun, so absolutely love seeing it. Because I clocked into work an hour early, I got to, whoo, hell yeah. Getting off. Now, again, as I said when Richard was momentarily the only one in, hopefully everyone's holiday seasons are going off fairly well thus far. I am officially on vacation, and it is my first day where I actually got to wake up and feel the results of the vacation, because everybody knows day one is just like you die in your bed and you don't move. So today, finally off on that vacation run. I'm sorry if you guys hear like fabric flapping everywhere. I am in my big poofy oversized, overfluffed robe, but you know, I'm sitting back and enjoying my holiday season. Alright, let's go through here. Yep, got in an hour early, got out an hour early, pretty good. Currently playing some, oh man, goddamn. Okay, Richard, I bought the DLC for both Scarlet and Violet. I decided I'm going to stream the Scarlet DLC because I liked the Scarlet playthrough more. I'm not going to be doing a Nuzlocke, so I started Violet, right? And I'm playing Violet on my own, off to the side, because I really need to, you know, grind some levels for some Pokemon. I decided I was going to go through and do, I think, a primarily Eevee party. Was that in Scarlet or was that in Violet? I don't remember. That's not the important part. I bought the DLC for both versions, and all I know about anything is that there's an event in front of the main line building that I have to go trigger to start anything. And I haven't even done that, let alone I have just been going off doing fuck all anything, item grinding, fighting random Pokemon. So, I will be having absolutely no knowledge about any of the DLC. No joke, I know nothing about the DLC other than one of them, and I don't know which, has something to do with some sort of very, very Japanese-esque like party thing. No joke, the level of lack of knowledge I have. Oh, and there's a turtle. There's a turtle that does a thing as the flagship Pokemon. If that doesn't tell you how absolutely blind and dumb I am about it, I don't think anything will. So all of it will be brand new to me. I got to go to an Indianapolis Colts game. Oh, you get to go this Sunday. Hold on, what? Colts? That sounds like a familiar to me. Is that football? Indianapolis. Yeah, it is football. Okay. I was going to say, so my nephew has gotten into football recently. I'm not into football. But, you know, a lot of people in my life have been. And so things get spoken up and brought up from time to time. I know baseball passably well. I know hockey a little bit less so. I know football like the bare bones basic level. So again, when I recognized that team and I was like, I know it's not baseball. So I had to think about which team that was. Which, again, with my nephew getting into baseball, I unfortunately might have to learn a little bit here and there, especially if he is going to end up aspiring to play on any teams. Okay, hold up. Richard in here just like, okay, did I avoid a fire here? I almost effed up and bought the Violet DLC instead of... Oh! Okay, yeah, and if you have one and not the other, that would suck. Considering the eShop card would have been a Christmas gift for my brother to get the DLC, he said he would have hit me. Well, hopefully you took some of that cash that I sent. I think I sent you one. I know I sent Rigid one, and Dem, I think all three of you guys got one. I hope you did. If not, I have another spare card to... I have that set aside for somebody else, but I'm fairly certain I sent one to each of you guys. Had a relatively quiet week, as everyone has gone home went out for a 2-hour trek, left about midnight, and god damn, I need to get out and walk more. I have put on a little bit of weight again. I blame the holidays with all of the parties and the fattening foods and everything. But as much as I want to blame people putting out just terrible food, it's also the fact that I have not been out walking because everything is ice fucking cold. Alright, I did send you one, so hopefully, hopefully you got something halfway decent with that. Yes, the NFL football team. I live in Indianapolis, so the Colts are kind of a big deal. Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm in Michigan, and this is like... The idea that the Lions are even halfway competent is like new and alien, and so a lot of the diehard Lions fans are approaching this with like, you know, big dick energy, and everybody else who has been like, we just want them to not suck. Once they started to not suck, we kind of just looked at it like we don't even know what to do with this. Like, it's like, imagine you have someone who survived off of dirt pies for their entire life, and then you take them to, like, a 5-star restaurant, and they look at their plate, and they're just like, I don't even know is this even food? That's kind of what it's like being a Lions fan right now. I got mine, checking the store every day for a big bargain. Well, hopefully the holidays will bring something nice out. I think, and I might be wrong, I think last year there was even a thing about... the New Year's bringing in some unique deals on a couple of things, but I don't remember if maybe I'm confusing that with the December to January New Year's with the Chinese New Year's. I might be getting that mixed up. I got Slime Rancher Portable Edition with it. Definitely would say it's a good one. Slime Rancher, for what it's worth, is one of the earlier games my brother and I, back when he was able to actually be here for these videos and streams. Slime Rancher, the first one, was the first game, I think, that wasn't a Halo game that we played through to its completion on stream, and we broke it very hard, and I don't remember if we ever got the proper ending, despite earning the proper ending, because we broke the game so bad. But Slime Rancher is a very fun game, and both him and I have been playing Slime Rancher 2 recently. I have a friend who was a Raiders fan his whole life, who recently switched to being a Lions fan. Again, like, I'll be honest, the Lions, like blue and silver are sexy colors. So, like, we always had that going for us. The problem is everything else.
Do you want to enter?
We also always had, like, as far as I remember, a good-looking line. It's just, you know, like the linemen, it's just they never did well. What do you say about it? They just never did well. Can you tell the story about when you were working and the guy made a mess in the bathroom? I'm watching with a maid on the TV right now. Okay, Dem, before I tell this, I need to know, is this man currently eating? Because I'm not going to tell this story if someone is currently eating food, because it is bad. Alright, let's see here. We got category G, which is the first lineup for this. I'm going to get this going because the fights happen automatically, so I can tell the story while the fights are playing out, with maybe a little bit of strategizing on the team layout here and there. No food, just drinks. What the ever-loving fuck is this thing?
Category G tournament. It's time to introduce our competitors. First up, his identity.
Where the hell did I get a mask?
His origin, a mystery. We know him only by his enigmatic alias, the Cryptic Kid.
I'll be honest, it's a pretty good name, though. That's a very, very WWE-like, not WWE, more like earlier than that.
A cold-hearted killer, an iceborne frozen thriller. It's Jock Frost.
Ooh, yo, he's got a Yeti on his team.
The first matchup is about to commence. On your marks, get set, go.
Alright, so I'm going to go through this. I have a tendency to say disgusting stuff while people are eating, and funny stuff, which is almost causes them to choke. But the habits both are habits I'm desperately trying to break. At least the battles aren't heavily timing-based like Monster Rancher. Yeah, Monster Rancher is a game that I liked growing up. I liked the monsters, I liked the concept. But the games were unique, I'll put it that way. I did love the idea of being able to pop CDs into your game console, though, and getting monsters that way. Alright, so to tell the story from that Dem had requested, because it is one of the more disturbing stories of my time working in retail. So I used to work at a hobby store, game store. Let me set up my tactics here. Richard is all about beating down. Dem is going to be about showing some I need to support. And Slib is going to be all about support. From there, I think I can just let it ride. Oh, wait, no, Slib is supposed to be healing. Alright, I'll have to fix that next turn. Anyways, I used to work it was a retail shop. It sold a lot of classic gaming gear, but also hobby gear. So, models. Yo, that hurt like hell. Models were very common. Games like Warhammer were a big deal, as well as the many card games. You know, your Yu-Gi-Ohs, your Pokemon, your Magic the Gatherings. But they also had a thing that is long since a dead practice. One of the services they had was what would you call it? They used to call them like internet cafes, but it wasn't a cafe. You didn't get coffee there. But you would rent. You're renting a high-end gaming PC to play in their location on their internet. And so you can kind of get the feel for the idea of what this business was. Now, they also sold some of the traditional quote-unquote gamer snacks. They always had like bags of Doritos and Cheetos and Lay's potato chips. You had your Mountain Dews, your various flavors, your this, that, and the other things. So, people would also come in and rent tables. They had several tables laid out, and these were for your tabletop games, your card games, your Warhammer, things of that nature. It was a fairly sizable location, built out fairly well. At the time, my task was making sure that the shelves stayed stocked, making sure that everything stayed clean. I was the grunt newbie bitch baby. I was the guy that when something had to be done that nobody wanted to do, I was the one that did it. So commonly, I would be cleaning bathrooms, cleaning windows, maintaining the base machines of the computer. Weirdly enough, other people would always want to be the one to like tear open the machine and like play with the wires and whatever. I don't know why. I think they had a weird fetish for it. But, you know, you have to clean those. You have to maintain the inside. But when it came to cleaning out the grease tracks of the mouses or pulling all of the keys and individually wiping down underneath to clean. Again, man, people are eating at these things. So you understand what I'm looking at when I'm cleaning these things out. As much as that was my standard day-to-day, it was nothing in comparison to one singular day. And Jesus Christ, this thing is just not taking damage. Well, it'll go down eventually. It's just gonna take a long-ass time. Anyways, we had at our shop, if you were to think the most stereotypical guy I can... Do you know, Dem's friend who is sitting by trying to catch the story, are you familiar with The Simpsons? And are you familiar with older South Park episodes? While I wait for an answer to this, I'm going to read some of the messages I have here in case I missed some. Were you laughing or cringing more at the All I Want for Christmas parody I sent you earlier? I'm curious. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I listened to it at the start, and I laughed. I laughed hilariously, like the full-blown gut laugh. But I didn't finish it in the first sitting. I sent you that message, and then I went back and listened to it later, and I was still laughing, but it went from the gut, the big gut bust out laughing to like, oh my god, this thing is so nightmarishly bad, but in all of the great ways that give you that evil villain smile. So that's how I'd word about my experience with that song. Familiar with South Park and Simpsons. Alright. Okay, just make sure I didn't miss anything else there. Alright, in The Simpsons, they have that guy that runs the comic book shop. Okay, we have another fight here. The guy that runs the comic book shop in The Simpsons. And if you know the older South Park stuff, you know the guy that they had portray the it was when they had I think the episode was called Make Love Not Warcraft, and they had that big guy at the computer who was just like no-lifing the World of Warcraft game in that episode. Right. Take both of those guys, merge them into one singular entity, and make him like 45 years old, right? So we're talking about a guy who's well past the age range he should probably be in there, looking that way. You know, at least clean yourself up a little bit, my guy. So anyways, yeah, everybody is set to be doing things correctly. For at least the best shot I have. Ooh, he's got a Stark Raven. I like that. Alright, so this guy comes in there one day. And he is not an uncommon guest. He is not someone who hasn't been there before. He's been there quite often, and he's one of those guys that when he comes in, intending to spend money on the hobby side, he spends a lot of money. So he's kind of what you would call a whale in the business. He shows up. When he buys big. When he's not buying, he was probably there just renting space at the computer or playing off of what he has bought. Because, you know, that's what you had there. You had those services available. while we also allowed for food there, so we had the snacks that we sold, we had the drinks that we sold, you could bring food in from outside too. It was not uncommon for people to go there and buy pizzas for the group that they're playing with or anything like that. I'm fairly certain, if I recall, this guy was solo, but he was there with some people, and he was eating something. I don't remember what, but the point is he was there long enough, having eaten, having drank, that he had to go use our public restroom. Again, I cleaned the restrooms. This was a job that I had. I had just cleaned these restrooms. So, as far as I thought, I was done for my shift as far as cleaning a bathroom goes. This guy goes back into the bathroom, and nobody's any the wiser. He goes in, he comes out, he finishes playing, eventually he leaves. One of my fellow employees, I believe it was, went into the bathroom and immediately called me in. This man had explosive diarrhea all over the porcelain toilet, painting the top, the bowl, the top, not the hinge top, the seat top, and it splatters out the side onto the walls of our publicly available bathroom. The toilet is in the corner. It's a one toilet thing. It's not a stall-based system, so you would walk in, you'd lock the door, and you have the bathroom. You have some a cleaning supply closet off on the other side, and you would have the sink and some other stuff available. It painted that 90-degree corner and a portion of the floor, and this guy didn't even try to wipe anything up. Like, again, look, the body will break down on people. I can't fault people for that. I did respite care for a few years. This was not alien to me. Cleaning up after old people, it's a thing. But there's always a dignity thing that people are shameful of it. This guy walked in, did this, had no attempt to clean it up, made no notice to anybody, was the only one that anybody at all ever saw go into that bathroom in that period of time. Again, since I had just cleaned it, walked out, continued playing. We don't even know if he even washed his hands or anything. We don't know. Nobody knows. But given what state he left that in, we can only assume the answer. He goes in, makes that mess, walks out, nobody does anything, nobody says anything, because nobody knows. He plays, he finishes, he leaves, and it's not until a couple of minutes, I don't know, however long after, that somebody realizes what he had done. And it was my job to clean that entire bathroom. And given the state he left it in, you can understand the amount of time and disgust that went into that nightmare cleaning session. Did he ever go back there? Yes. He was not allowed to use the restroom anymore. He was politely told that he cannot be. He cannot use our restrooms anymore. It was told as soon as he walked in the next time, but he was still welcome to come there, to shop, to play, to eat. If he had to use the restroom, he would have to go to one of the other nearby areas. There was a restaurant that was part of this strip mall location. I think that's probably where he would go to eat and to use the restroom in the future. But he did show back up. Again, this man's, as far as I would say, his dignity did not exist. Because again, there is something to be said about when that happens. It just seems, I can't understand. I can't understand just being like, oh yeah, it's a standard thing, and whatever. Because that's, God no. South Park, yes. The Simpsons, not so much. I'm more of a Family Guy type of man. Okay, but you still understand the references I'm making, I think, here. You could even go to Google and look it up if you wanted to. Familiar with South Park and The Simpsons. The Simpsons, not so much. More of a Family Guy. Fan of South Park, Family Guy, and The Simpsons. This sounds like Lenny Baxter from the Powerpuff Girls, but replace the creep factor with an equal... Yes, I would say it's not replace the creep factor. It was add into on top of the creep factor that gross factor. But yeah, he did go back there, and again, as a business, they're gonna look at it as this man comes here, this man spends a lot of money. They're not going to turn him away, but they did have to draw a line in the sand and say, look, this was a thing that happened, and we can't have this here again. We were lucky that we had an employee who understood the idea that, look, sometimes you gotta bust your ass and do things that no human should be willingly set to do, but desperation, the fact that pay was on the table, and didn't want to lose my job. I didn't want to say, fuck it, I quit. Because this was, I believe, during the Obama years when, much like now, well, maybe not so much like now. I haven't been in the job market. It's unfair for me to say that. But, jobs were very hard to come by.
His next, though, is a dedicated deviant who dares to deviate from the standard. It's Starch-a-Beetle.
I think this would have been fairly early on in those years as well. Sorry, I'm thinking back on it. It's like,
The final match
has it really
is
been that
about to
long?
commence. Are you ready for... This is it. On your marks.
All right, anyways, I still have the rest of this tournament to get through, and it seems like so far my team's been doing fairly well, because I have not been paying attention, but here I am in the third match? Flying saucers. Goddamn! Fuck you, game. That's stupidly unclever, but also hilariously dumb, and I love it. I think that's a new monster type for this game, though. By the way, I just found out something recently about this game. I believe in Japan, there is a crossover series of monsters that are actually in the game, that are a thing you can get, that are tied to McDonald's. They have a McFlurry demon creature with like a McFlurry spoon for a weapon instead of the usual pitchfork. They have a stacked tower of slimes, but all of specific colors to look like a burger stack. I can't remember some of the other ones. Those are the only two I specifically remember. But the fact that there are McDonald's monsters that are Dragon Quest canon now is hilarious to me. I had to clean up some period blood at work today. It wasn't a lot, but I hope that makes you feel... It does not make me feel better, Rigid. If anything, it makes me sad that you had to go through that. But, on the other hand, someone has to clean those stalls up, and life happens in some of these places. So, as much as I look at it like, man, that's nightmarishly bad, what I didn't have to do is walk in on a corpse. There are people that's a day of their job. So, as absolutely bad as it was, as rancid as it was, as disgusting as it was, as I said, I used to do respite care, so that was not overly alien to me in that sense. But there are people that do worse jobs. The one thing that I think people need to... So I've said this before. I genuinely think that the social structure would be a little bit more cohesive if everybody worked at some point in their life in an actual service job. Not a job for the service industry where you never had to deal with actual people or customers or deal with the shit that people go through. No, I mean a real service job. Now, I'm not saying you have to stick there long term or, anything like that, but the experience alone has a lot of value.
There we have it. The category G winner is none other than...
And it would really help with framing, I think, expectations for people, even, so I've talked about, I've also used to do on-call tech support. And I had a lot of really out there cases with that as well. Working these service industry jobs, nothing I think would more drive the point home to people that these are real people and you have to treat them with some degree of dignity and respect, because the issue you're having has nothing to do with them trying to do what they can to assist you within the shackles that they're held to. And I think a lot of people forget that when they are dealing with people in the service industry. There's always a deep dive into Twitter drama who will tell you that. Yes, absolutely. I assume there's always a worse job.
The mysterious monster wrangler, whose name remains hidden behind anonymity.
The Cryptic Kid. But yeah, no, even when I am having absolutely terrible issue with a company or anything like that, I will try to treat the customer support with or whoever I'm speaking with the utmost respect that I can, until they give me a reason not to, because you flip that switch on me and I will become the most heinous thorn in your side that I can, out of spite for your shit attitude when dealing with it, because I'm already trying to give you proper respect and you can't even give me as the customer that. And that plays into a very recent story, actually. While I was out holiday shopping, I understand the holidays are rough for people who work in retail. Again, I worked in a retail store. I've seen it. I know that. I know that the holidays suck absolute dick for anybody working retail anywhere. I don't care if you're working at a major mall or if you are working, I don't know, a corner drugstore somewhere. No matter what, the holidays will suck for your job. That's kind of just the way it goes. So I was checking out, and I don't remember what the issue was, but there was an issue at checkout, and the lady who was trying to check me out was struggling to get something going, and I can't remember what it was. But anyways, I had made again, having worked similar positions, I kind of know some troubleshooting things. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this story before I progress in the game. Have a good night, everyone. When's the next stream? If you have one planned. I don't have one planned, per se. It would be probably around this time going forward, though. Right now it is the 21st. I know I have some things to do tomorrow, but I'll be doing another one, I hope, tomorrow, and if not, it will definitely be the 23rd. During the next week between now and New Year's, there's going to be a lot of streams happening. I'm going to try to get one every day. But anyways, Dem, hopefully you continue to have a good one. Enjoy your holiday. Hopefully we'll see you in the next stream. Gotta get going. May have invited a girl to join us. Well, I didn't read that before I read your other one, so, you know what? Now that I have that information, bro, go get some. Anyways, where was I going before that? Oh, yes. So, anyways, there was an issue at checkout. I don't remember what it was specifically, but I had made a whatever suggestion in the moment, and the lady looked at me, lifted her hand in the shut your mouth, pose, that full-on hand stop thing, and she got incredibly rude and angry with me, and basically told me to shut the fuck up. Now, after 10 more minutes of her fumbling and eventually her manager coming and solving the issue, guess what the answer was? I don't remember what the issue was. I remember sitting there and saying, that's literally what I told you to do 10 minutes ago, you fucking bitch. In my head, those were not the words that I said, but I'm just sitting there and I said, have you tried doing? And come to find out that was basically what had to be done. And I left that place, I was pretty heated. I was like, oh, you fucking. So yeah, that was a thing. But again, I was sitting there just trying to be like, yeah, hey, I know your job sucks, but happy holidays. Let's just check me out and get going.
I think you're ready to step up a category next time. I'll be rooting for you.
Alright, so I have not been reading any of the dialogue, but I didn't think it was going to be overly important because it was just getting in there and doing the tournament. Now I've got to get back into the actual swing of the gameplay, so sorry if I miss anything in chat, but I'm going to try to stay focused and keep up on things as I usually do.
The local monsters are sure to take a shine to you now.
No, it was Virgil. Virgil, I hear you, thank you, but I've already recruited, I think, just about everything in the area that I have strong inkling to recruit. Except for the one big monster, but I don't think that's a fight I'm supposed to have right now.
That piece of Travelite you won should give us access to another circle of Nadiria.
Yo, hold up. Is she going to give us, like, another dance? Is it going to be, like, a different soundtrack every time? We had California Girls last time.
Indeed. And you're bound to meet many more powerful monsters there.
Well, shall we return to the tower and head to the next circle of Nadiria?
I can't imagine we're going to get a full dance scene every single time. Like, that seemed like a one-time major thing.
All is proceeding as planned.
Yo, what the fuck looking at this guy from the background? Hold up. No, dead serious. Look at the silhouette of the character here and think. If you know anything about OG Dragon Ball, and you know when Piccolo was old, like really old before he got his youth back, like that is weirdly giving me like old Demon King Piccolo vibes.
But you're still far too weak to wrest the throne from your father. You must grow stronger.
Yeah, you're seeing it too, Rigid. Like, that is absolutely... Now, I don't think he was very Piccolo-like when we saw him the first time in the first stream. But, like, absolutely, he's given off those vibes from that back silhouette. Alright, I think I can... Yeah, I can fast travel back to the tower.
Zoom!
Alright, now in here, there is a feature that I think I checked out once before, but I have not checked out since. And I want to see what it's updated with.
Well then, Rose Hill, here we come.
Also, at some point, there's supposed to be some, like, monster merging that becomes available. And I've already earned, like, my place in 2 of the arenas.
How you doing?
Alright, so this is the online stuff, and I want to see what's in the online shop. Apparently this updates every day. And things have fairly reasonable prices for what they are. Right, so the strength ring, give me more power. I don't need more agility, I think we're actually good on that. And these scrolls are supposedly a big deal. I'll be honest, I kind of want the strength ring. I do a lot of physical combat rather than skills early on, and I rely on the skills once you get farther in the game to get enough of those skill points that you can actually start playing around with them and unlocking the skills you're more after. I know a lot of people actually play the game the inverse. They will use a lot of early game magic to supplement a lot of it. I save that more for the late game stratagem, whereas I just run in with a big beefy stick early on in the game is my standard gameplay. Actually, let me see. Dem is not wielding anything yet, so Dem's gonna get more muscles. I don't want to return to Rose Hill, but isn't this where my... Oh, maybe I go up a floor? Because she's the one that's got to use the item, right? No? No.
By the way,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try this. I guess yes? You have reached Rose Hill. Yeah, but... Oh, okay. Okay, now I've got it. Okay, okay, so, new areas. I never even saw this page before. I think I've pretty much explored all of the Circle of Conquest, so let's go in and see the new area. I'll be honest, a part of me is kind of missing the elf dance scene, but, you know, excuse me? Heyo. I was hoping to see you, Ian, my lad. Aye, you've grown so much already. You certainly seem stronger than before. But I'm wondering, wouldn't you like to know how to make it? Yes! Finally! Monty, let me make monsters.
By the way,
I'm glad that they're using synthesis because I almost would have fallen for a terrible trap. Let me make new monsters instead of let me make babies. While talking in reference to my monsters is where my brain started to travel down, and I'm sure we can see why that would be a terrifying path. Oh man, put this character in a room with a platypunk and just hope you get something good. I should make it clear though, lad. You can only use synthesis monsters that are level 10 or higher. Well, that's a good number of my monsters, I think. Now, this does mean bidding farewell to the monsters you've volunteered for synthesis, I'm afraid. You know, your ritualistic sacrifices. But that's enough out of me now, wouldn't you say? You can perform the procedure down in the basement of the tower. I'll see you there, lad! So meet me in the basement of the teleporting magic tower to ritualistically sacrifice 2 of your monsters to make a new monster! I'm just gonna jump all the way down. Yo, hold up, what are you doing here? Monty asked me to set up this branch of the Monster Depot. Just come to me. Yo, okay. So now I can access my entire monster library here. And goddamn, so many are at that level 10 mark. Hell yeah. Unfortunately, some of my new ones, the Butterbum, are not properly equipped for the job. Okay, hold up. What about the Putripup? I'm sorry, the Putrifido. Why didn't you dodge?
how do?
Love Team 4-star. Did anybody else go back and check out their Boo shorts when they put those out? I was surprised that they gave anything about that. I understand a lot of people were upset that we never got the full Boo saga. Back when they were doing the Cell saga, I agree. But they had their reasons. They had to call it quits there, and I was ready to leave it there. So the fact that they came back down the line and gave us really, really good clips, if nothing else, was definitely a fun treat, and I'm big appreciative for that. Alright, let's take a look at some of the synthesizing we can do here. Obviously, if we're going to do anything with Slib, we've got to build up towards the absolute slime unit. So let's see what happens. Okay. Take particular note of suggested parent combinations that have a gold-framed portrait. because these are very special indeed. There are some rather unexpected combinations to discover, but you can increase your chances of finding one by scouting as many different monsters as possible. Okay, one thing that I have to say about this game that I have become aware of is it seems there are items you can use on monsters and or items you can equip to monsters that when that monster is subsequently used in synthesis will also have an effect on your resulting monster, which is a unique added touch that I am not familiar with being in other games, which is really cool. Oh, also, I forgot about this entirely because it was spending money and I blocked that out of my brain like the cancerous thought that it is. The Steam winter sale is going on right now. I just recently picked up some more of these monster collecting games, and I am thinking over the course of the new year doing another very lengthy stream checking out many of these games and seeing if any of them catch any steam for our preferences to maybe doing a further dedicated video on. I have one that is about dragons that I've never ever seen anybody say or reference in any way, shape, or form before. I have another that is, I believe, Koromon, which I think is another big one that came out. I have Temtem, which I already had, but I only ever played way back in the early stages of the beta and never went back to play again. And I now have Cassette Beast and the Cassette Beast weirdly creepy peer clown DLC. I don't remember anything about it other than it was a DLC, it promised more story, a couple new monsters, and one of the images on Steam was like a weird clown guy. So, let me know if that's something you guys have any interest in, because that is currently something that I'm looking at doing. I've already bought the game, so now the question is whether or not I do streams with them or I play them on my own. But, while I'm talking about that, we also have the Pokemon DLC, so when it comes to around the New Year's time, there will be a lengthy stream day, probably New Year's leading into the 1st, because I think I also have that day off for the holidays as well. If nothing else, I have that following Monday, whatever it falls on. Would definitely be interested in watching those. Alright, well, again, that is one thing that I have set off to the side in my brain to figure out. Alright, let me see here. Probably for the best they discontinued DBZ Abridged. It sucks, but they felt they would have run into seasonal rot due to having too much trouble parodying one of the movies. I wonder if that's one of the movies they actually did a parody of or not. Because they could have also just not done future movies. However, I can't remember if they ever did all the movies or not. I really hope my joke went through. Maybe it was too dark for YouTube. It did not go through, but again, by all means, if you want to play with the verbiage and see if you can bypass the YouTube automatic red flag system, I can give it a look and see if it's something I'll type out. It's kind of a long joke to type out. You know what? Fair enough. And, again, if you bother to go through it, I'll figure it out. Otherwise, by all means. It wasn't. I think it was BoJack Abridged. Did they not do BoJack Abridged? I thought they did. But yeah, as far as BoJack goes, that is one of those unique Dragon Ball Z movies that not a lot of... I say not a lot, but a surprising number of Dragon Ball Z fans never actually went back and watched. Which is a shame, because in one of the Budokai games, BoJack was an absolute unit, and having matches between BoJack in his transformed state and Broly were some of the stupidest, goofy, big, hulking meat monsters smashing into each other. God, that sounded like a weird gay sex scene. Were some of the funner matches to watch. Two hulking meat monsters smashing into each other. Yep, those were words that I just said. Alright, so, going from these... Oh, hold up. Yo, wait. thoughts. Brain! Okay, so the dragon kids are going to be big ones for me to go down the avenue for. Because, as I said before, I think combining 2 dragon kids is a great way to get a certain monster. But this is a way for me to get my Saber Cub. I know they're saying, scratch that, Fang Slime. I love the Saber Cat Fang Slime. Alright. So, let me see here. The talent points here. I guess I don't have to worry about spending anything, so confirm? Okay, so in this one, they're not calling it the Fang Slime, it's the Feral Slime. It gives me, God, what was his name? That reminds me, Street Fighter 6 is one of the games that I recently picked up as well, but that's the character I'm thinking of. Is it Blanca? Okay, Blanca's his name. Yeah, okay. He really gives me Blanca vibes, and that's what it makes me think of when I look at him. Alright. Slimer is one I need because having access to heal skills is important. But also, it's a Fang Slime, and it just feels right to be a big, beefy slapfest of an attack-boosted monster. The agility's not bad, but it's not great. But, you know, we're still early game. I'll take the raw stat boosts. Oomph isn't bad. Alright, I'm going to give him the agility booster. I find it, you know, kind of goofy myself as I'm going through here. Being like, look, I already see the monster. Okay, we gotta call him Blanca. Seeing some of the monsters that I really want to get, and then just immediately side railing into, no, wait, better. Better, yes, do. Didn't even look at the other options. Alright, so off of these, we've got the goodest boy, the Putre-Pup. Let's see what we have out of this. Okay, we could go with the crow. We could also just make a better, stronger zombie dog. That'd be fun. What kind of... Hold up. Yes, but... I'm sorry! I'm sorry. Rigid! I would be using you to make the fat rat. No, Rigid, it did not go through. But, going off of this, man. Look, at least you're sitting here as the powerful, mischievous mole. But that's funny. That is not right, game. Why are you doing this? Alright, no, but seriously, I need to see. It used to be the mischievous mole was a great way. Yo, what the fuck? What is this? Oh wait, this is a monster in Dragon Quest XI. That's far more fitting. That is a far better offspring for Rigid. Let me see if we got anybody else in that avenue. Alright, I see where I'm going with this. Alright, Rigid, you are bringing me one step closer to my Saber Cub, good boy. Off of this, though, that's actually a good one to have. Accelerate's not bad. It's not great. Whoops. God, this thing would be so fucking fast. I could just go all in on the speed. Speed Blitz. That's so much better. I've got to... Look, if I'm going to go with this, I've got to do Rigid right here. So, we're bringing in Rigid the Second, who has upgraded into kitty cat space. Rigid 2, the Fuzzy Boogaloo. Oh, 22. We'll come up with more creative names on the third wave. Alright, now we've got Richard the Komodo here, and I think off of this guy, I'm going to look for... Oh, God. Well, that's fun. No, I'm going to see if I can make one of the baby dragons. I'm not seeing it here on the immediate go-to list. Alright, let's try a different lineup here. So let's bring Dem into this and see what we get here. Why is that thing just giving me nightmares? Alright, so Dem can go into the Raven path, and that's going to be pretty good, actually. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Let's take the Stark Raven. Alright, take the Hive Mind for the boost abilities. Better magical options. And the Enfeebler. So, Dem is coming through. Rigid. I was thinking, you know what would be a great way to bypass the YouTube system here if you really want to? I'll give it a look and I'll pre-read myself and figure out how I can try to reword to dance the system. Send it to me on Twitter and I can check it there without you having to worry about the... Alright, if it's a Stark Raven, we've got to call him Tony. And off of that, I should be able to read it without having to worry about YouTube's garbage system. Alright, so the Ivy Dragon was really, really strong, but it just... Oh, so that's where I can start getting some of the other guys. Right, so I could save some of these and... Yo, wait, yo, we're seeing some cool monsters in the lineups now. All right, let's see here. What can we go with Richard here? I'll be honest, man. The wizard boar is really kind of cool. I'm really digging that one. Down here we also have a fire spirit. That's also kind of cool. Alright, Richard, I can go either way. Do we go with the Sham Hat Witch, or do we go with the fire spirit? Which one are you feeling right now? Not gonna lie, like, those stats aren't bad. High defense and good spell options. Fire Spirit, gotcha. Go all in on the spell casting. With just free wisdom buffs right off the bat. Hell yeah. With more MP. God damn, he can go... Oh, wait, hold up. Go all in on the fire. That's kind of necessary. I'm looking at that like that's not bad. Those are good skills. And then off of this, that's HP and MP. That one's wisdom. Alright, there we go. We're going to go with that. One moment, guys. I've got to go deal with my dog. She is upstairs barking up a storm. Alright, well that sucks. I am back, and I left my controller over there. God dang it. I know this microphone is super sensitive. I don't know how much of that issue picked up on the microphone, if any at all. My brother was by earlier today, and he left my gate to the side of the house wide open. And my dog has free access to the backyard. So my dog was out wandering the neighborhood. My brother opened the gate and never fucking shut it. Ugh. I'm sorry about that. It was a moment of outright pissing me off. Alright, let me see this this joke Rigid sent. I don't know what this is referencing. Do you know about the egg substitute called egg beaters? I assume this is a thing I have no knowledge about and is like an actual product or something. But they have their own version in the Deep South called, whites only. And it's quite good with, another term for saltines. I'm trying to think how to say that without... That's the word that's pissing off YouTube. I can tell you that. Like, I know that's the word that's pissing off YouTube. Because you have the word whites, and you have that word there, and I'm looking at this thing like, oh, I'm sweating. I'm feeling the heat on that one. Alright. Oh man. Fantastic Four. What was the Human Torch's name before he transformed? Oh man, what was his name? Okay, I am turning to Google on this one. Johnny Storm. I know we're white though. Rigid, it doesn't. Okay, let me. I have no idea where I was going with that. It just started. It started, didn't stop, and I was riding the train. YouTube has selective enforcement of its rules. As evidenced by the fact that I have people talking about playing a game that I had to sit through YouTube training for about how to not be a hateful, evil person in all future videos, despite this video being some 5 years old. Talking about a game. Anyways, so, by the way, I'm actually still on the clock for that strike, even though I think I'm long since past the required date. So I'm still currently sitting on 1 strike on my channel because YouTube still hasn't wrapped that up. Me being of a particular pigmentation does not suddenly give me the right to say words that you might think would be applicable given my visible shown degree of melanin. YouTube does not care, and if they so choose, will slap me in the face hard with their big corporate dick if they so choose. And I am not looking to take that beating right now unnecessarily. So, as reading that joke, I shall go with alternative word for saltines. You know what? Fair enough. Race jokes are a no-no, even when it involves your own race. Thanks, YouTube. And again, Rigid, like, if you and I were sitting on a couch together, I'd be like, bro, let him fly. I don't give a fuck. My situation here is the YouTube system and my need to be creative when reading it, not the joke itself, because I truly believe that comedy to me is something that is supposed to transcend that. Frankly, people have gotten to be too much of whiny asshats in recent years to continue to live that. This is a fire spirit. What was I gonna name it? Johnny. That's what it was. Anyways, yeah, people have gotten too sensitive, and things are constantly walking on eggshells. All right, there was all right, and then we have the platypunk here. Like, that's not. I can't go through my. Yo, I could get a Yeti. That's a good one to put the Yeti on too. I'm gonna do that. Alright, so again, the Chili Receptionist is a good one there. The Attack Booster and the Defender would be good. The Anti-Magic Avoider is also good. MP buff, MP Wisdom buff. That's a good one. We're going to go with that. My sense of humor is so dark. Wow, hold on. YouTube is blocking this off. Let me try to fix this. My sense of humor is so dark. You know what? I ain't saying it here. I don't want to look like the bad guy. But I will say, in Rigid's comment of saying, "Yo, but we white," due to my my background, my family history, the layout of my family tree, per the Coalition of Communities of Color, I am, by their layout, a person of color. So, Rigid, I will appreciate being shown the level of respect the internet has told me I am deserving of. Thank you. Alright, its name is Powie Yowie. No, it is Babby the Yeti. Babby Yeti. Whoa, Babby Yeto. Gonna go with it. But yeah, if it, again, that is why I say, you know, looking at someone and saying, your pigmentation means that in your family tree. It's, you don't know fuck all about my family tree. Eat a dick. Alright, so, oh shit, wait, hold on. I need to correct my party layout. This also means I probably need to grind some new levels. Alright. The party layout is mostly good already. Oh man, do I take Acid High or I'm taking Butterbum. Oh, I have 2 spaces. Sweet. Butterbum and Acid High, you're riding with me.
Ta very much.
Come on, give me an item. I have, I think, in my personal playthrough, just doing a lot of grinding, I think I came back in here and got an item out of one of these once before, so that's why I'm not immediately saying that I'm not going to be getting anything from them. Oh yeah, aren't you of Irish descent? That's not even where it comes from. Okay, so the way this works is, on my father's side, he was 100% Slavic. And the Slavs, within certain regions, seem to qualify according to the Coalition of Communities of Color. Now, that has to do with a lot of the American history and world history, and the, of course, tying into root word of slave. There's a lot of history there. It's not a thing I'm going to get wrapped up about because it's not a thing I give 2 flying fucks about. It has nothing to do with me and my life and my personhood here today. But then, yes, on my mother's side, it is presumed a high degree of Irish. We have never gotten, you know, any, like, 32 in me or whatever, 21 in me, forever 21. I don't know, whatever the thing is that people spit into a tube and get their genetic heritage from, and then also sell their DNA to China. Whatever that thing is, we have never gotten one properly done. My mother was adopted, and we can only have presumptions of her genetic heritage. Meanwhile, all the same, I've talked about this before. My mother... alright. My mother, you know, obviously, my mother, my father, we had parents in our household for the majority of both mine and my brothers growing up. However, we also had a neighborhood lady that was basically the lady that raised damn near everyone in that entire neighborhood. We lovingly refer to her as sister, as that is the name she prefers us referring to her by anyways. And so when I say it, my brother and I both had the black upbringing. So there you go. There's our childhood. So it's kind of like the history of how New Mexico got its name, but not nearly as interesting. I actually don't know how New Mexico got the name New Mexico, so I don't know the history of that one. Not something I ever looked into. I know New York, there is an area in somewhere over in the Europe region referred to as York, and New York is just the reference to that. And so I could speculate on New Mexico, but if there's like a story to that, I might look into that. It sounds interesting. I've never even thought about it. Don't spend a lot of time in New Mexico. Oh, and there is something else about this elf girl that I didn't know about because it's from a Dragon Quest game that I don't recall playing. It's not to say I didn't at all, but I don't remember anything if I ever did. But apparently she is also a character in Dragon Quest IV. At least that's what it was showing up when I was looking into this character, when I was trying to figure out what's up with her. Apparently she's a thing from Dragon Quest IV and she's being reused here? I don't know. I don't know anything about the character in the franchise. But I thought that was interesting.
The big hitter here, so you can befriend a few monsters. Perhaps some of the locals might point us in the right direction.
You know what? That's actually a really good point from Rose. That I just synthesized a bunch of my team's monsters. So frankly, we are heavily out-leveled and I need to adjust my party layout. Rose actually giving me the time to step back and think about what I'm doing before I do something incredibly stupid. Alright, let's take a look here. I need somebody with good survivability. And sweet mother of God, Rigid 2's defenses are off the chain. He is a fucking tank. Ivy's at level 12 and has 55 defense. But that makes sense, you know, significantly higher level. Level 1, Rigid 2 is sitting at 35 defense. Sweet mother of God. And he is the speediest son of a bitch, given the skill layout. So I think that's going to be high survivability for him. 55 health, 35 defense. Yeah, I think he's the one that's most likely to survive taking a hit. So I'm going to put him in the party lineup. Rigid, what the fuck is with you being absolute great characters in this game? I didn't pay attention to the stats. I was just like, yo, this is a monster I really like and I want it. Like the same thing with the mole. Like I like the shovel mole. I'm sorry. And then here comes Rigid coming and being like, yo, what if I'm just like the world's fastest tank and I zip in and be like, yo, can't fucking touch nothing. I don't know the details, but apparently The name New Mexico actually predates... I'm sorry, the fuck? History! The fuck you doing? Alright, we got some shadows up here, which are really good monsters. Even in D&D, like no joke. Don't fuck with a shadow in D&D. If your DM says the shadow starts moving, panic. Just start panicking. For two reasons. One, if you know how to deal with the situation, your DM is far more willing to let you because you have already given him what he wants. And the second is if you don't know what to do, panicking is the right answer. At least if you're a low level. Alright, everybody is set to absolutely just murder everything. However, we are low level, so Rigid, you need to defend yourself, and everybody else is good to go. Can I just... Nope, I actually still have to go through and tell them to attack. I didn't look at the stats. I should do that after this fight. Yeah, again, like, I know he's set to defend right now, but oddly enough, Rigid is here taking hits better than even the higher level Poison Slime. I can't remember. I think they used to be called, like, Babbles or something like that. Alright, so Ivy, just continue with the base attacks. Butterbum, whoop, Butterbum, same thing. But let me take a look at my items. I don't think I have anything good here. Yeah, not really. Got some herbs, but I don't think... Yeah, I don't need to use those right now. We're just gonna go through and run the fight. Alright, not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling a little bit of pressure because these guys are not taking a lot of damage. Alright, Gust Slash is the way to go. Understood. Thank you, game. Oh man, and that slime is taking a beating. I suppose out of all options, though, the slime is the one to take a little bit of a beating if he has to. Alright. Ivy, Gust Slash, the Fire Spirit, Butterbum, physically attack the Shadow, because that's about all we can do. And Rigid, continue tanking everything. Yeah. I am not going to read that as worded, but I respect the willingness to say so because, you know, as I have said before, if we don't take the shots at ourselves, then there's nothing we can do. Basically, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? That's where I was trying to go with that, but my brain is done being fried. I'm a large individual, was a rage-filled maniac in high school, and did a complete 180 when I reached adulthood because I didn't want to end up in jail. I'd say me ending up with strong characters is fitting. I am just surprised that you are like 2 for 2. It's like in my Pokemon runs, Richard is always a Gyarados, and Richard always is the linchpin of my team. He doesn't always make it to the absolute very end, but he is like the cornerstone for the bulk of the ride through, if he doesn't make it to the very end. And I don't think Richard's died in a single Nuzlocke. I laugh at myself so much that I openly tell people my full name. Yes, and this is unironically a hilarious line. And I have thought about, and I haven't done this yet, but you know, I used to DM for Dungeons & Dragons quite a bit, and I have recently retired as far as the mainline story that I was doing for a long period. But as it stands right now, we have some people doing smaller random campaigns, and I have thought about making a unique Trent monster, you know, the living tree people. And I have thought about naming it after you in that same name vein as a running gag for it. So on top of all of it, you would also be a living tree being to drive the hardwood joke home. I suppose if Ivy's the only one actually able to do any damage, everybody else is better off defending anyways. But yeah, as far as cracking jokes, I would be far more willing to refer to myself as such than I would read it in terms of... Even though Ridge is the one who wrote it, which implies to me that he's fairly okay with the terminology there, but... You know, cracking a joke and using terms like that, I don't know, it's... a joke is one thing, wording it that way, it just... I don't know, I would probably do it if it felt more right in the context, but I don't know, something about that just didn't strike the chord with me personally to refer to it that way, but I would refer to myself that way all day long. I say looking at my added weight belly and complaining about the holidays at the very beginning of this stream. God, this fight is... I realize I came in with underleveled monsters, but I didn't think it would be this much of a rough fight. Okay, finally the fire spirits are gone. But what's funny about this, Rigid, in referencing to the absolute tanky cat over here... Rigid, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. Forgive me! Rigid, you are the tanky pussy. I'm sorry. Anyways, you are the absolute fuzzball unit in the corner of the field here. But also, all of your skills are about outspeeding everyone, which is kind of funny. Rigid over there, our fuzzy pussy. Oh no. No, words are being said. Let me grab a drink. Because clearly I'm not drunk enough. Rigid? I just want to point out, do you remember the old, I think, was it 90s or was it early 2000s? I think it was late 90s. The X-Men cartoon, which was fucking awesome, by the way. No joke, the Blob in that show is one of my favorite villains. Because when given the time to just be a guy, he's a lovable dude and I love him. I love him. But also, like, without being the Juggernaut, he does some Juggernaut-like shit, and I fucking love it. It's so cool. Alright, anyways, I have this fight I have to wrap up. My limited knowledge of X-Men lore will come out very soon if I don't go back to the video game. I used to watch that cartoon every week when I was a kid. It was great. Yeah, it's also the show that really got me excited for Nightcrawler as a character. Before that show, I wasn't a big fan of Nightcrawler, and then the movies ended up making him a fucking great character too, so... I will say I was always a fan of Rogue, but easily my favorite version of Rogue. That was a surprisingly hard fight. I hope it's worth a lot of experience. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Rigid just piling through those levels. Just 18 talent points. You talented motherfucker. Alright. The MP buff isn't all that necessary. The HP would be great. And that's only 3. 3 of your 28 fucking available points. God damn. Alright, let's get Accelerate and Whoosh. Whoosh is a good offensive spell to have. And I'll be honest, I'm probably done going down that path for a while. Although Accelerate would be fun. You know what? Let's take more MP. And we'll sit on the points for a little bit. Blanca needs to have access to heal. That's a big important one. And then just everything down the attack. Everything down the hit things harder path. Alright. Babieto. Alright, I need Cool Breath and I want Crack. Those are good. I actually think this is a character that I need to go down here fairly consistently across all 3 paths. Alright, Frizz, yes. Flame Slash, yes. I don't think I need to go any farther for a little bit because it's going to be a long time before I see Fire Breath, and I don't need to trick myself into thinking I can get that. Heal is important, but after that, I think everything is pump it down the Bedazzlement blocker. Tony, buff is good. Snooze is not needed. We're already got some points there, but it is what it is. Zam Ward isn't bad. The Enfeebler is probably the way I want to go. Debuffing. Debuffing for this character is going to be the name of his game. And I feel like having somebody on my team with it's just blunt is their skill is kind of funny. Wrap up this fight like a dick in a box. And the porn references continue. Fun fact, my middle name actually came from the kid 2 of the X-Men characters had. This kid grew up to be the superhero Cable. Okay, yes. Yes, I do know that character. I don't know their non superhero identity, but I also think, aren't they also big in the oh man, what's that fourth wall breaking character that everybody loves? That I am not a massive traditional fan. Ryan Reynolds played him well in the movie. Deadpool, yes, thank you, Richard. Isn't he big in a lot of the Deadpool storylines? Oh, those frame rates, that was bad. But we did just come out of a menu and it's cleaned up already. But momentarily, that was rough game. I might be wrong about thinking that Cable is involved in Deadpool, but I seem to think Deadpool did a lot of X-Men related stuff, because I think that's kind of where his power originated from. He was in Deadpool 2, alright. I have not seen Deadpool 2, I remembered hearing that they were making it, I never even knew that came out. I just remember going to see Deadpool 1 with a couple of friends. And since you mentioned Ryan Reynolds, he's actually my favorite actor. He's a really good one. I still, for actors that are alive, I'm a Jim Carrey fan. I love Jim Carrey, even in roles that many people think he did not do good in. I find him hilarious as a reference to. The number one that I am thinking to when I say that is his role as the Riddler in one of the Batman movies. I understand all of the criticisms. I love Jim Carrey. I like the Riddler as a character. I like Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I understand the criticisms and I don't think they're invalid. But I like Jim Carrey as the Riddler. But unironically, I love Jim Carrey in a lot of movies. But as far as my favorite actor, probably Robin Williams. In fact, I'm gonna say it's not even, it's definitive. Robin Williams is my favorite actor. No joke, a guy who played comedy roles fantastically, but understood the duality of comedy and pain. The understood that suffering is a path to great comedy. And by understanding that, he could play serious roles fantastically too. Jim Carrey in The Mask, though, there's still one of my favorite movies of all time. The Mask is great. I am a bigger fan of the Ace Ventura movies, as well as the Ace Ventura cartoon. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that. There was an Ace Ventura cartoon, and I actually have an animated cell that I have set up that is going to be gifted to my brother this holiday season, because him and I both are big Jim Carrey fans. And yeah, so I actually have one of the background images that they would use in that show, as well as an animated cell of Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura. So I'm really excited to give that to my brother. But yeah, that's probably my favorite series of movies, and one of the instances where, in my opinion, the sequel was better than the original, because I will go back and I will watch Ace Ventura 2 all fucking day long. I knew about the cartoon, but never watched it myself. It's a hard cartoon to find. There was also a Mask cartoon. I remember seeing some of that, but I don't remember watching it very often. Jim Carrey Jim Carrey should have been in National Treasure. I stand by this. Anyways, Jim Carrey is a national treasure. I personally like Nicolas Cage because that man can sell his... Nicolas Cage is another fantastic actor that, genuinely, despite people ragging on him, I completely agree Nicolas Cage is fucking fantastic. He can sell a scream, he can portray deep, visceral pain like no other. No, I gotta completely agree. Nicolas Cage is another good one. Man, there's somebody else I'm trying to think of that I really like, despite the fact that a lot of people rag on him for various reasons. Give me a second here. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is another one of those actors that I don't know anything about them in their personal life, so I don't know like what it is that people get upset at him about. I just know that people are upset at Mel Gibson as a human being. I don't care about that. I'm talking about the character and his profession. The characters and the profession of the guy. Mel Gibson does act very well as well. And then, of course, even outside of the Iron Man movies, Robert Downey Jr. is massive. God, I'm trying to think here. Denzel Washington is good. And why can't I think of the, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is the other one that I would put up there with some of the greats. In his old age, unfortunately, Morgan Freeman kind of is more just like cast as Morgan Freeman. But like, in that middle period, man, some fucking great roles. Also, he will always be canonical God as far as I'm concerned. Alright. Get the heal. Get the sizz. God, get the buff. God, why are all these good skills? What the hell? I guess more HP. Give him more health. What the fuck with the Butterbum just being like, yo, my skill game is on point. Supposedly there is a lot of horrible things Mel Gibson said, and... Whew! Well, yeah, that's a shitty thing. Made strong with the right hook with his ex-wives. That being said, differentiating the art and the artist is something a lot of people do. It's one of the things that I do. It's why, you know, despite the fact that I think that Jim Carrey is unfortunately unhinged, I can still say, but the man is gifted. And we are lucky that he made use of his gift as he did. Morgan Freeman was in my favorite Stephen King movie, The Shawshank Redemption, which is, again, one of the fantastic, great movies. One of those movies I think everybody should see. And he was God in Bruce Almighty. I think he was God in another one as well, which is one of the most watched movies of all time. One of your most watched movies. Yeah, again, look, you've got two great actors in a movie together there. So it's a win all around. I know Jack Black basically plays as himself in every movie, but that character is a legend in his own right. Again, Jack Black is... I wouldn't say he's like a great actor in the idea of diversion in his portfolio, because like you said, he really does kind of just play himself. But himself is such, like you said, again, a great character that it is a personality you can put into many movies and just enhances the movie. The situation there, I think, is other talent. If you put him in a movie that's not a comedy, it relies on the talent of other people to use his gift appropriately, and it's like putting salt in your food. It just makes it better. And yes, School of Rock is another one of those fantastic movies that, again, I think is a timeless classic. Another one of my most watched movies too, actually, and Jack Black was the most fun character in it. Again, Jack Black is just a fun character in general. I'm trying to think. I will say, I was personally wildly shocked by how perfect Jack Black did personifying at least the portrayal within the movie of Bowser. Jack Black as Bowser was a casting position that I never would have called myself, and I now never want it to be anything different. The character and the personality and portrayal can fluctuate from iteration to iteration, but Jack Black is now my Bowser. Alright, I need to change the party out again. Blanca here is going to swap with Rigid for a little bit, just to try and make up some experience. Also, I made it fairly clear that I like, again, they call it the feral slime. I know it as the fang slime. I like my fang slime. However, actually, no, unironically, I think we're actually good to put the team back together. They're not there on level, but like their stats, they're measuring up. All right, let's put Tony up here. Let's put Johnny over here. And okay, so that gives me high magic, well-rounded, tank, offense. All right, I think I can do that. I think I can run off of that build out. Alright, let's find an enemy that looks plausibly fightable. I like you. You have chosen. You are my my combat experiment. Rigid, just standard swinging. Tony is... Oh, actually, you know what? How about if I swap the tactics around? Rigid is show no mercy. Tony is... I think he's kind of built around debuffing, right? No, he's buff. Yeah, interesting. Why is, oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. That's why. Okay, yeah. So he is a buff and a debuff. So we're going to have him focus on debuffing. Rigid is all out of offense. Johnny is magic-based. So I guess show no mercy and hope that he leans into magic fully. And Blanca is show no mercy. Does Johnny have some healing magic? He does. Okay, so Johnny will focus on healing, but will hopefully be offensive when nobody has to be healed. Alright, let's give that a shot. I love it. You give him the blunt, and his attack goes down. Honestly, that's fairly fitting. Also, there was a Nickelodeon show for School of Rock in the 2010s, if you haven't seen it. This sucked for the record. Well, that's disappointing. There was another, I wouldn't say it was School of Rock, but there was another cartoon that was short-lived, but was, like, absolutely wild for its time. It was very visually... Again, I'm pulling off of my memory. I might be wrong. I remember it as being visually super unique. They played around with the cartoon elements of their show quite well, but it was like a music class in school. They had a really, really fun teacher, black guy, and if I remember right, he gave me like I don't know, like ska vibes. I might be wrong on that. I think Rigid is gonna know the show I'm thinking of. That sounds like, what was it, Class of 3000, and it came from Richard. Yeah, that might be it. Let me double check here. Yeah, that was it. Again, I really remember it being, like, unique and awesome in a lot of really cool ways. One of the best Cartoon Network shows. It was up there. Again, I've got to pull off of my memory. It's not one I remember seeing, like a lot, but I remember never not enjoying it. It wasn't like a Ed, Edd n Eddy where, like, I remember much of it, like, way too well. But also, I surprisingly, when I think back and I talk with people who were more TV bound growing up, I apparently did not watch as much TV as I thought I did growing up. I've seen a lot of shows. I'm familiar with a lot of things, but I was not one to be overly pressed on rewatches. I was more of that guy that would turn on a video game and replay a video game. Go figure. But I remembered watching a lot of cartoons, and I liked a lot of them. And in my old years, I go out and I search for some of the ones that I remember being really unique and awesome. Ones that I'm a big fan of still to this day. I love Dave the Barbarian, which was, I think, a Disney cartoon. There was also Earthworm Jim, unironically one of the greatest cartoons in my opinion. Freakazoid was really good, and the older Animaniacs. I know they did new Animaniac stuff, but I have not watched any of it, so I will not speak to the quality at all. However, I have heard mixed reviews. The big negative I heard about the new stuff is that some of their jokes got really tired later on because they rehashed them and just used the same joke in a different way. Speaking, there was another one that I have to bring up as well as one that I remember really liking. Anyway, speaking of cartoons, I was thinking about Kappa Mikey. That's one of the ones I was going to talk about. Kappa Mikey being that American cartoon character goes to Japan and becomes a main character in an anime is hilarious. I was thinking about Kappa Mikey earlier and how clever the dynamic between Mikey, Lily, and Mitsuki was. What was the big beefy guy in that show? I remember it was a very simple name, but he was my favorite character. He was like the glue to the show, in my opinion. But yeah, that was a fantastic show. Another one that I remember existing to sell toys, but also being a uniquely enjoyable show, was Mighty Max. And I'm not sure if a lot of people remember Mighty Max as a cartoon either. Norman from Mighty Max is like the man every boy should want to be when they grow up. I joke, but like, just look at Norman. It's like, goddamn. I want what he is. Gonard, yes, that's the name. The duality of chaos between Mikey and Gonard is just the best. I would have to go into my library of digitally backed up cartoons, because I've got some in there. I've got a lot of the episodes. I think I have all the episodes, but not. I don't think I have the Tokyo special from the old Teen Titans. I've got the Mighty Max stuff. I'm looking at getting a box set for some of the old Batman animated series, because again, that's something that's easier to find and get a hold of, and is one of the best iterations of Batman. As far as the Batman IP as a whole goes, I would honestly say probably the Justice League Batman is even better. I don't recall if I watched it, but I do remember Mighty Max being on. I think that was one of those, like, Fox cartoons. I don't think it was Cartoon Network. I don't think it was Nickelodeon. Alright, I've made some decent level gains, so I'm going to try to progress farther in and see if I can't find some new monsters. Because right now, these flame spirits actually look a lot like what used to be the mimics back in the day. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, problems? I'm just going to keep going. I guess I can't get up there yet. I will accept that fate. God, if it's literally raining lava in this place, I wonder what it's going to be like in the summer. Oh shit, we're in the summer right now. That's why. I thought that was spring. Spring is the flower, though. Heal slime! Gimme. I would be trying to recruit you if I didn't think, what is with your eyes? Hold up. No, it's just because of the red tint from the fire raid. It made it look like your eyes were all fucked up. I'm sorry, guy. All right, there we go. He looked like he smoked a blunt. Transformers Armada was also probably my personal favorite of the Transformer era cartoons, but that's one of those things where, like, I swear everybody has their favorite Transformer era, and I don't think there's a wrong answer. I'm second guessing that stuff because I've seen some of the recent stuff and I question why it, how I question its style and the vehicular design of it. However, not the storytelling, because some of the storytelling is still pretty good. At least from the couple of episodes I've seen. Alright, Rigid is getting the opportunity to get more smashy breaky hurt things-y. Alright, 20 points here, 10 points here. He'll get 8 more agility and 8 more attack. God damn it, Rigid is just an absolute unit. Unironically, I did not expect that. Armada's the one I think I'm thinking of, where they had the mini-crons or whatever. So you had all of the big Transformers, and they actually got power boosted by partnering with the mini robots. If that's the one I'm thinking of, then I would say that was my favorite generation of Transformer. I was saying the aforementioned dynamic in Cap and Mikey is clever because it's the tsundere and dandere, and God fucking damn it, you're right. Being subverted and resulting in a love triangle. I never drew that, and you're fucking right. God damn. Rigid out here just being like, Ian, let me tell you why you're so small-brained. Transformed Armada was my favorite too. I like how Energon continued it, yes. Though the different animation for it was weird. Transformers Cybertron was originally planned to continue from Armada and Energon, but they had a Japanese studio created it and wanted to do their own thing instead. Transformers Armada is the best because it had Sideways. Is Sideways the purple motorcycle guy? I think I remember that one specifically because I liked his design enough that let me see here, Sideways. I actually have that toy. Yes, it is. Fucking yes. I also have the mini guys that went with him that went together to form essentially the guy driving the motorcycle. So I have the mini-crons, I think that's what they were called, that merged together to become the driver of his transformed motorcycle state. That was one of my favorite toys of that group. That one, and obviously the absolute giga unit of Optimus Prime. Sideways being an Autobot, then Decepticon. Yes, and the toy you could actually swap based on a couple of things you could do when transforming it. Really fun toy. Again, growing up. And also being the motorcycle transformer, I gave points for because I love motorcycles. Again, it was probably my favorite of the random non-major in everything versions of him, of Transformers. I also really liked the way that everybody was always like, no, we need the ones that merge together to make the ultimate big fuck you sword. Of which I also had those ones. You know damn well I had to get the ones that made the fuck you sword. It was like three to five. I think it was 4, but it was multiple of them all merged together to become this like Starbreaker sword or whatever the hell they called it. It looked goofy as a toy, but I didn't give a fuck. It was a big fuck you sword. The mini cons, but you were close. Okay, well, I accept fully that I do not remember it as clearly as I wish I did, but now sitting here talking about it, I'm just like, God damn it, I need to see if I can find that show too now. Alright, snooze is going to be good to have access to. I think we're done there, so let's get more. Do we need wisdom? We don't really need wisdom, but the following MP buff is pretty good, and I don't need physical attacking with this guy, so that's the way I'm going to go with it. Johnny doesn't have any yet. Blanca. Right, I've got Frizz, I've got heal, I don't need anything else for magic. The agility wouldn't be bad, but I am going to go further down the beating stick path. Do I have 20 more? I have 20 more. Let's get the let's get the attack buff. Blanca is my muscle, my team muscle. Are we in? No, we are not in a season change. What happened? Did I load a new area? Nope, get away. New slime! Now, what are they calling this one? Because I remember the orange one. Oh, it is a she slime! Awesome, they kept that. Okay, this is an odd one. Rigid, attack the she slime. Rigid, I'm sorry. We do not condone hitting women here, but video game says do video game things, so I'm sorry. In the meantime, everybody else take out the mischievous mole. Right, we'll see what that does. Sonar, Runaway, Jetstorm, Combine, Powerlink, Star Saber. My God, Richard's just like, Ian, I remember everything. Gonna be eating soon. We're having homemade, chicken parm. Richard, how the fuck are you gonna tell me things and it's like, oh, it gets better and better. Homemade chicken, good. Parm, good. Chicken parm pizza, even better. What the fuck? Let me know how that goes, though, because I have not had a chicken parm pizza. I have made my own chicken parm before, and it's still fucking good. I will say, though, not overdoing the mozzarella is key to a good chicken parm, in my opinion. Because I know it's you grate the Parmesan cheese on top, but I like doing the mozzarella in between because the heat of the chicken and the noodles melts it throughout and just, I don't know, it's what I did on mine and I liked it. But again, I had to use very little. It was just enough to help that sauce kind of goo its way through. When I'm thinking of pasta dishes, the word goo is a word I want to use to describe my dish. Anyways. We have not taken out the mischievous mole, which was my original goal. Rigid, attack the mole. Tony, attack the mole. Johnny, attack the she slime. And Blanca, for once, I guess, defend. Alright. We've done a fair bit of damage. Let me check if I've got some good... oh, we got a sirloin. Yes. Okay. Give the sirloin to the she slime and try to successfully scout. Okay, we're past 50%, which means that this is very well within the realm of doable.
You're one of us now.
All right, the she slime is going to be Gubriella. It's a long name, but gotta stay on theme. And is level 10 right out of the gate, so is able to be used almost immediately. Unfortunately, now I am without any sirloins, so at least until I get to the next... 1 second. We're actually approaching someplace. This area looks pretty large, though. Alright, some more moles. Moles! What the? Well, okay. Dynamic exploding map. And another sirloin. Alright, so I've got the next goal area here. But, like, I want to go do some exploring. It's a big-ass area. And it is just blowing apart. Alright, we got falling rocks up above here. Some sort of passover. The lantern enemies are nice and all, but we're getting so close to fall, I've got to see... Whoa, wait, hold up! Big dragon boy! Big boofy! He's one of the balloon dragons. I think they used to be red back in other iterations. Fortunately, I missed my opportunity. Alright, more she slimes around here. Oh, the drum monster. That's a fun one, but I think he's probably gonna be one of the bigger enemies in the area. So not someone, maybe not. Hold up. If I'm running into several, he might just be a standard enemy. Alright, I'm gonna make my way back to the original intended goal area now. Cows only smoke weed when the stakes are high. That's a good one. I like that one. I love cheesy dad humor. Which, by the way, Rigid, I love cheesy dad humor in your video posts of the random memes that you come across, which is essentially a meme review without the hardline review. It's the Rigid found and thought was funny memes. I like the cold opens. They're just groany enough that I think even if you aren't a fan of the dad humor, are like putting you in the right mindset for watching the rest of the memes. But if you are a fan of that humor, it's also putting your head in the right mindset for the memes. Yo, a rock slime? More visitors. How unusual. This is the village of... what? Of Dragglenook. And you can bet I'll be keeping my eye on you while you're here. But if you've come about our little problem, you should rock on over and speak to... what? To Gnorbert. He's in a whole heap of... What are these names? This is like someone slammed their face on a keyboard and said, screw it, we're going with that. Rigid, my brain did not read that the way it was written. Thanks, it might be shit, but it's shit I made myself. That's the way my brain read that, and it's just like I'm immediately thinking like, you edit your videos literally sitting on the toilet. I have no idea if that's a thing or not, but again, the image in my head of that is kind of funny. Oh, I say, a customer. Where are my manners? Thanks, my guy. Alright, what items do you have available and how much sirloin can I buy? I could buy 6. I want 2. Our cots are comfier than bed. No, I'm good, thank you. I appreciate the offer. I don't think I will be sleeping on rocks tonight. You look like a Gnorbert. In case you're interested, a river of gloopy lava came down the mountain and cut us all off. Gnorbert's poor son is stranded on the other side. Gnorbert's in his cave now, worried sick. I'll be honest, you looked like a Gnorbert, and I apologize. How we save him now is clear as mud to me. I don't... What? I'm gonna come in and break your pots, and me on my way. I feel like this is gonna be a surprisingly empty well. Not a lot of water here. Look, I expected very little water. I didn't expect these guys are throwing their shit into their well. We're getting really early European days, aren't we? We got the literal sewage canals. I still can't quite believe it. A human, here in our village. You could count the number of times that happened on one hand, which is great, because I am only one hand. He was sneaking around the item shop looking rather shady, looking for a 5-finger discount, I'd imagine. I hope you're not talking about me. I tried to talk to the shopkeeper. I didn't try to do anything untowards. I plan on uploading a Christmas episode of that series on Saturday, so you'll have something to look forward to, and it's already edited. So you're literally just like waiting for the day to upload. Nice. I have so many like video ideas, and I just wish I had more time to... I don't like... That is not... Look at that thing! From the backside, really? Again, from the backside, from the backside. Did you hear about the river of lava that gushed in? I'm all... I'm all goo! But it seems some of the other monsters just can't take the heat. No. No! Infinite numbers of no! I don't like that monster design. It's shit. Alright, was the cave this way? Was this where the cave was? I just want to find the cave, my guy. Oh, shoot! You're the one that lost your child. Well, can I... Look, I'm the main character, my guy. I should be able to walk in and take your shit and come back later. Look, I can do it to your pots? Fuck your pots! Alright, but seriously, your child? Dearie, dearie me. My poor boy. Stuck like a rat in a trap. No wonder I'm down in the mouse. Unironically, I love these puns. I don't like the slime ones. I normally love the slime puns, but in this game they have largely been about slurping an elf, and that don't look. That sits right with me under certain contexts, but the context at play here, not so much. What are you doing in my nest? I missed a part of that.
You're keen to build up your reputation around these parts, you say? In that case, I suggest you hear me out.
Look, if the large rat starts talking to you in a cave, listen. Because no matter what's gonna happen, you're bound to get into a wild ride.
The name's Norbert, and I have a rather big favour to ask. I need you to save my son.
Oh dear. Is he in trouble?
I don't know if they've ever done a white slime. I feel like there's probably a very good reason why they wouldn't.
He is.
But I say that, and we literally got a poo slime.
A massive burst of molten lava came down the mountain, cutting us off from the rest of the region. I only survived by a whisker, but my boy got trapped on the other side.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's all Bernie's fault. He's the youngest of the Brimstone boys. He caused all this by opening that
Oh,
gate.
my brain hears that, and all I think is, okay, so we have, it's all Bernie's fault, the youngest of the Brimstone boys, and I'm thinking childhood Bernie Sanders. Oh, I don't know why my brain went there, but it's funny.
Big hit around here. If you
Baby Bernie Sanders causing hell.
Wonders for your rep. Could you close the infernal gate while you're there? I've got just the thing to seal the Hey! My green rock, it's gone.
Yo, not the green rock.
Green rock.
Would one of the blue ones work?
It was right here. Well, I'm sure I'll find it by the time we get back. Please, just save my boy.
Yes, I will save your son. I'm perplexed about the
Oh, thanks a million.
It's... Wait, but... Okay, hear me out. We have a red rock and a yellow rock.
The infernal
I think
gate
this
to the
green
cave
rock is going to be the
nearby.
next of our
Please,
teleporty
make
rock
sure you
thingies.
shut-
They don't call him Bernie for nothing. Literally, it's Bernie Sanders out here creating lava. He's spitting rhymes like the lava flows. I don't know. My brain went to like rapping Bernie Sanders and spitting fire and heat. And I'm not saying my thought was good. I'm saying that it had potential. Oh, that was bad. If you're trying to find the infernal gate, turn left out of the village and rock on around till you find a cave. It's in there. Thanks, my guy. I am gonna go swallow my pride this way. Alright, bank left, and let's see if we can't find that cave. Okay, well, I want the dragon. But I cannot have the dragon. The other season that I really want to see before I wrap this up is going to be this area with all of its fire and brimstone, but in the winter. Are we going to get ice? Is hell going to freeze over? Or are we just going to get like a decent volume of not burning water? Like, will I be able to walk through this water? Why can I thought... But You know what? I'm just going to stop having thoughts, and I'm just going to go do the things. Because apparently, me thinking right now is a sign of failures to come. Okay, but wait, my brain says this is dumb, but there should be something up here. Alright, I can't get up here, but this looked very climbable, and up to a certain point it was. I think that's enough mini medals to go back to the mini medal guy. Alright, well, I still... No fall damage! Why would there be fall damage? It's the party that does the fighting, not this guy. Anyways. I realized I did the jump earlier from the tower. Something about that just felt different, and I don't know why my brain said that it was possible. But, you know, like I said, my brain is shutting down already, so... Cutscene!
Oi! Oi! Someone! Anyone, please help me! Look over there! That must be Norbert's boy!
It is Norbert! I just put too much emphasis on trying to pronounce the gn, the Norbert.
I'm Nibbler! I need to get back to Dragonlock Village, but this lava stopped me in me tracks.
He's got an adorable British voice!
We have to close the infernal gate right away.
I've got to save the young little baby rat that sounds like what in my head whenever I think of God, why can't I think right now? Why is my brain shutting down? Brain cogs turn one more peg. It's not going. Nope. The thought isn't there. It's dead. It's dead in the water. Put a bullet in its head. Leave it be. Take it out back. Bury it. It's a worthless thought now. Even if I think of where I was going with that.
Dear me. It looks like he's in a spot of bother.
No joke. There was another human here.
Seems things have gotten a little dicey.
Who is that old cartoon character that this guy's making me think of? Oh man. I don't know anything about the cartoon other than there was a movie, and it's a really old cartoon, but there was a more recent movie. There's a kid that this guy looks like. And I don't like the hairdo. I'm gonna put it out there.
The discombobulator's a real lifesaver. Glad I swiped it from the village back there.
Was that the green rock, you asshole? I have a rat monster to save.
Pardon me. Are you all right? Wait. Are you a human?
A human in the monster realm. Kick his ass!
Well, an elf mixing with monster kind. How intriguing.
What in the world are you doing here?
Okay, first things first. The name's Trouble. Toylin Trouble. I'm a researcher of magic.
No. You know what? That name, fuck you. Fuck you with that kind of fun name that would be great to run with and having that shit-ass hairdo.
I came to Nadiria in search of treasure. Like this nifty little number I pocketed earlier.
No, Rigid, the Bernie Sanders rap did not go through, and that's disappointing because that sounds great.
If you've got a problem with me, monster boy, don't bite your tongue. Can't stomach a little petty theft, huh? That's a bit rich coming from one of your kind.
Bro! That's about the most racist thing. No. We had absolutely just beating slaves to make them cry last episode. So you know what? Gotta say, can't go where I was going with that. But you know what? Still, fuck you.
Is that Travelite?
That was the green rock I was thinking about.
Huh? Oh, this. I stole it from that rat's horrible little hovel.
You are literally out here just like, I'm a piece of shit, and I'm gonna brag about being a piece of shit.
Do you need it by any chance? I suppose I could hand it over. You'd like that, wouldn't you, monster boy?
Well, it would be like the reasonable thing to do considering you stole it once already.
Well, either way, I guess you're no fan of receiving stolen goods, am I right?
Not if I'm gonna return it to the guy you stole it from.
So, what's your plan? Perhaps you'd rather rob me of it instead.
I am no thief, but stealing stolen goods in the name of the guy getting it back originally, you know, I'm good for that. I'll try to beat your ass. Bend you over my knee. Oh shit! That's right! We're only prevented from fighting monsters! Yo, fuck you! I'm gonna stab you in the gut, man! He's literally here just like, yo, I can actually unload on this guy.
So let me get this straight. It's wrong to steal, but fine to win something in a fair fight. You know what? I think I'm starting to like you.
Well, look, it's not that I'm taking things for the sake of taking them. It's not yours, I know whose it is, and also you're a piece of shit.
But I think I've wasted quite enough time on wannabe vigilantes. See you around.
About to pause the stream and record myself actually wrapping it. Speaking of wrapping, I have a lot of presents to wrap tomorrow, and that is not something I'm looking forward to, because that is going to be a lengthy endeavor. Wait, okay, you're running further, and I'm going to say, we are not about to let you run past us, are we?
Toil and trouble. What a bizarre individual. Well, the infernal gate should be somewhere inside. Let's be careful as we go.
Alright, well, let's start by seeing... Oh, there's no seasons. The season, it just is what it is when I'm in here. Alright. Some sort of pedestal. If I had to guess, this is going to be like a return from deeper in the dungeon pedestal. Like Zoom, but not Zoom. A rock bomb shard, alright. Alright, so we got some magic magister magi boys. We got the lanterns. Well, I mean, I'm back here now. We're gonna fight whatever's back here so that I can have an easier time getting out. Just DM'd it to you. Alright, let me check this out. Let me take a look here. Is Twitter just broken? I assume it was... I assume you were referencing on Twitter. If you sent it over Twitter, it has not come through yet. So it might take a second here. Speak of the devil. Alright, I am going to mute my microphone for a brief second here while I let this run. All right, I apologize about that break in the audio because it's going to be apparently unnecessary. Twitter is having an emotional breakdown right now, and I'm going to do what I do every time I have an issue with Twitter, and I'm going to blame Elon Musk. I can see the picture. So to take Rigid's Bernie Sanders rap, Bernie is making them earnings, taking our tax cuts and leaving them squirming. This isn't just politics. These are dicks that make shit. We get hit in this pit, making us slit wrists. Okay. And I read that in the trashiest white boy way that I possibly could. And I don't think I could have done any more justice to the expectations of me reading a rap that has been built upon in this channel. But I'm gonna have to give that a proper listen to later. When Twitter decides to pull its head out of its ass. So, with that being the line that I'm waiting for, Rigid, I apologize if I don't hear from you until Twitter is, faces some serious reformatting. It took a while to get there, and then, even when it showed up, it wouldn't actually play right now, so I suspect it's just something on the Twitter end needing to figure itself out. We've got... ooh, okay, there we go, a cat fly. That's a fun one. But, to be fair, I at least was able to get the message. Rigid, attack the Blinkster? Okay. Everybody attack the Blinkster. Because I guess they're calling it a vampire cat in this one. Again, that's actually, I think, a better name than what they had before. I think it was just called a cat fly. Alright, a little damage, a little more damage. Honestly, I'm going to have everybody defend around with it. Except for Johnny, who's going to attack it, and everybody else defend. We'll see if that's a little bit more damage we can do. But anyways, like I was saying, at the very least, Twitter is a way to get around the YouTube garbage, as we did earlier. And even now, I was able to at least see the image that didn't play anything, but I could see the dialogue in and of itself. And I think I have another sirloin or two. I have 3. So let's see if I can't get lucky and scout this guy. I think it's going to be a higher, enough of a higher level that I might not break the 50% threshold. Which is where I'm more comfortable at.
Now.
Yeah, so we might not get this one. And that'll just have to be what it is. How much money am I getting per fight as well? That's another thing I haven't been paying proper attention to. Alright, 55 per fight, if that's here. Yo! Thank you, game! Yes. And I shall name him after my own cat, who is very vampire-esque. Big old bitey front fangs. There it is. M-U-N-G-O. Mungo Jerry. Alright, and Mungo is going to take the place of Butterbum. Was actually surprisingly decent. Yeah, we're gonna replace Butterbum with Mungo. Alright, let me see. Man, I still got a good ways to travel through here. Alright, I'm gonna back out and make my way back to the village. Because this seems like a really good spot for me to go through and gather up some new monsters, get some experience. Get past this guy for now. Which way am I heading? Am I unintentionally going farther in? I think I am. Yeah, definitely not where I originally intended to go, but you know what? I'm gonna grab this item while I'm here. No. No! No! Well, you know, everybody, get murdering. And, while I am... Hold on. Never mind. Need to really take a drink. Oh, man, I can feel the sandpaper on the inside of my throat. Anyways, as we wrap up near the end of the year, I mentioned earlier, I am planning to do a very lengthy end of the year stream to kick off the end of my vacation period. And so, as I build up to it, I will have an intended start time, and my expectation is it will literally go until my voice is making me cough up blood. I don't know how long that'll be, but it will be it'll be a lengthy stream. So hopefully, Richard, Rigid, maybe unless you have plans already, maybe we'll get to catch a period of that New Year time and herald in the New Year together. It will probably also be one of my more unhinged streams, because once my brain goes past the shutting down phase, which is where I'm at about right now, it enters into the there is no filter, only a fountain of babble. Be that for better or worse. And there will be much personality inhibitors that will be, I'm sure, involved at some point one way or another. I would be going a little bit longer today if I had it in me. However, I have some things I have to go out and get done tonight as well with a couple other people. And I'd rather not be, you know, unable to speak. Oh god. Oh god, we talked about it earlier! The white slime! Literally the game was just like, hey, we hear that you're going to be done in a little bit. So on your way, we thought we'd slap you with a cum smear in the corner of your screen. Thanks. I think it's Square. I think Square Enix is the guy that the company that made this. So thanks, Square Enix. Big appreciate. All right, where is? No, it's here. Yes, it's here. To Dragon Renook. Yes. Damn, you're going hardcore throat masochist. You're going to dominate your own... Can you not hear, like, the dying nature of my voice? Oh, man. Alright, so we are back into... And, I am going to wrap this stream up here while I still have some semblance of sanity wrapping around in my brain. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. Rigid, hopefully you continue to have a great one. Enjoy every day building up towards the holiday season, because if it's anything like the way mine roll out, it is a flip of the coin, and here's hoping we keep pulling out the right calls. And Richard, enjoy your dinner. Hopefully it's plenty good. And again, Dem, looking forward to hearing some fun success stories, man. Have a good one, and see y'all next time. Bye.